Good morning, everyone. Susan here on Butler Family Farm. Welcome to our channel. I have a different type of video to share with you, and I hope you enjoy it because overall I enjoyed the process. I will have to say that there was a level of frustration at one point when I started this project. However, through the help of two of my guild friends, I was able to get this completed, and a third guild friend did the quilting part for me. So here we go. This is the quilt design that I'm making for my sister-in-law. It's going to be enlarged, but this is the basic look of it, and it's all different blues, which here's the fabric selections. These are my lights, and then it goes into my mediums and then into ducks. And today at my guild it's going to be cut day, and I've got them labeled so I don't get mixed up, but I think it's going to turn out pretty cool, so watch for the next video. The color wash Irish chain, I got it through shabbyfabrics.com. I thought this would be perfect because she wanted blues. However, it's only a 60 by 60, I think, in this pattern, and she actually wanted it to be king size. So I took the bought the pattern, took the pattern to one of my guild friends who helped me figure out how to do a king size quilt top. And she actually, my sister-in-law actually wants this as a comforter. So we, I'll explain that in a few minutes. She didn't want it as a blanket. She wanted it as a comforter. So my first friend, did the calculations for how much fabric I would need to enlarge this. And as I was starting to work on it, I just got a little bit overwhelmed. I took it with me to my retreat in California to work on, and I just looked at it and I thought, I can't do this. I'm not going to be able to do this. She'd already given me, my sister-in-law had already given me a deposit, and I was going to have to give it back to her. That's the right thing to do. And so I talked to Jerry when I got home from California. He said, Susan, she wants you to do this. She asked you to do it. You said you would do it. Suck it up, figure it out, and get it done. And I thought, oh, crap, if you only knew. But I thought about it, and so I approached another one of my guild members who's very quilt savvy and said, would you help me with this? And she said, sure, I'd love to do it. And I had shown her the pattern because I had taken it with me to that particular sew day. This is back in August of last year. Now, mind you, my sister-in-law contacted me in February, so this is March right now. It's been a year, which I guess is not that long. And with all the stuff that I have else in my life, I suppose it works. But we set it up with my second guild friend that I would go over and sew with her, and so she recalculated a few. I didn't have to buy any more fabric. We had enough fabric. We talked about the size and went from there. She helped me put things together. I did sewing on it, a lot of sewing on it. She helped me put borders on it, and I'll show you the borders because they're my favorite ones. They're not difficult, but they're not fast in a sense. You have to take your time to do it, but I really like this style. And then it went to the quilter, who did a fabulous job with the quilting. And right now I have it on my bed. I do see that maybe the only issue that I can see that might not be the greatest is that it's not as long on the side. However, if you put more borders on to make it longer on the sides, then you've got to do a top. Usually you do a top and bottom. We probably would have gotten by without that, but I think it's doable. And I've sent my sister-in-law pictures to show her what her quilt looks like, and I'm getting ready to, I'm doing this video so that I can get it ready to box up and mail to her. So here it is in on a king-size bed, and it does come down the sides some, maybe not as far. And my quilt, Jerry's blanket, we have blanket quilts on our bed, doesn't go as far down as maybe it could have, but like I said, if I put another border on, then it would make it longer, because technically you put borders on all four sides, top, bottom, and the sides. It would be too long. Right now she's got enough to pull up and even tuck underneath pillows if she wants to. But it's all in blues. The pattern is called Blizzard Blues, but it's very calming, and I love this polka dot fabric I got in here. I just love it. I actually thought this would be a good binding. Oh, sure, I'll have to lint roll this where you're laying there, Mr. Diesel. But anyway, so it's got these different blocks, and I bought this particular fabric from Shabby Creeks because this is what was in there, and then I fussy cut, meaning that I got my ruler on there and just cut out pieces of the different log cabin, the scenes. It's a Blizzard Blues is what the fabric line originally was. I only bought this piece from that fabric line because I really liked it, and it helped cut down on the choices I had to make. So then when I went to the quilt store, here's another one, I had to pick out 3 light blues. I had to pick out, I think it was 3 or 4 medium blues that are right in this area, and then I got 3 dark blues right here. And it's kind of an Irish chain pattern as well. However, there's 10 of these squares. Normally an Irish chain would still have these types of rows going through in graduated colors. And these ones, I'll be honest, I wasn't real happy originally with these light blues, but after the quilt, putting it together and the quilting on it, I'm just really pleased with the whole thing. So these are just different squares. So as Terry wanted this to be a comforter type, not a blanket, but a comforter type, it's got a lighter weight polyester type filling, sandwich batting, however you want to call it. I want to show you all the crap in my room. So then I went and had to buy the backing, which is what this is right here. It's kind of a swirly, and it's just another different blue. It doesn't really blend. It blends with what is on there on the front, and she can actually flip it over if she wants to do that. She probably, hey, don't do that. But the quilting, at first she was going to do like snowflakes or something that kind of went with this here, but ended up just doing lots and lots of swirls through the whole thing. And because of the squares, the long arm quilter quilted in a log cabin in the border right here, which I thought was really great. And then you can kind of see some of her stitching here is a little bit different than what she's got up here. She just did a great job. It's her business, and so she's built a clientele up, and yeah, it's just really great. Let me see if I can flip it this way. So my second guild friend, and she even did things in the squares. This is kind of some feathery kind of stuff going up here. I'm just thrilled with it. Oops, showing my bed. So the second quilt friend, said that she would do the binding for me because she quilts her own on her sewing machine. She has not an industrial one, but sort of. And I had to put together a label. And I just kept drawing these blanks. What was I going to do for, the label? What was I going to say? How was I going to make it? And I remembered in a pattern book I have on granny squares that I'm actually doing something out of, had a couple instructional areas about labels. So I pulled that out. I looked at it. I went and got some of the light fabric that I had left over from the quilt, and I had an erasable marking pen, so I was able to mark that is actually the same fabric as this, I believe it was. And I didn't know where my embroidery stuff was, so I didn't have a hoop. Had to go run out and buy some needles. I couldn't use the cotton thread I thought of to use. I had to use just regular thread, so I tripled up the strings. And anyway, so I made this label, and it got stitched in through. This part here is stitched in with the binding, and then my friend hand stitched this for me so that I didn't have to do it, which I was kind of looking forward to it, but it's okay. But what it says here, and I don't know how clear this is, it says made in 2024 by Susan for Terri. When I was at my second guild friend's house for sew day, we're going to continue doing sew days together because she's just real knowledgeable. And her mom comes up and lives next door, and she comes over and we just sew and chat and whatever. I asked them how to do this label, because most times the year that's on there is probably the year that it's made. But I said to the ladies, I said, I started it last year, but I finished it this year. And they said, you put the year that it's finished. If it's a big gap, like 2 or 3 years, then you can put, 2017 to 2019 if you want to do that. But normally, the norm is that you put it the year that you finished it. So that's why it says 224, because we actually finished it in January, and I took it to the quilter in January of this year, and then I got it back. So would I do this again? Probably not. Would I make this pattern again? No. I don't even have an Irish chain or a trip around the world pattern on my bucket list. I have things called, like and I just saw it the other day, an orange peel, which is a paper piecing pattern, or the New Yorker, and that's a paper piecing pattern. That's on my bucket list. But doing around the world or an Irish chain is not on my bucket list. So I don't think I'll do this again. And would I make one specific, because she actually paid me for this, and I just charged her for a little bit of labor, the quilting and the fabric. Would I do that again? I don't know, because the pressure of getting it done, and it's for somebody else. If I make quilts as gifts, that's a different story. It's on my time frame. It's when I want to do it. And if they don't know about it, then it could carry over to the next year, and they wouldn't even, the recipient wouldn't even know. So I probably won't do a job. I would probably do it on my own and let that person know that, yeah, sure, I'll make it, but you'll get it when I get it, unless it's, they have a time frame, then that's a problem. I do know my other sister-in-law, Jerry's other sister, and her daughter asked me to make a t-shirt quilt. And I said, oh, sure. Well, then I found out how detailed and intense it could be to get the t-shirts ready to be put together. And I never got past the point of looking at the box of t-shirts and separating them out. And I had to be perfectly honest with them and tell them, I can't do this. I don't want to do this. The time frame was really crunchy, really crunchy. And I like doing quilting, and I think I do, you know, an average job. I'm not exceptional on it. I've gotten better over the years, but the t-shirt quilt, when I mentioned it to my guild members I was going to be making a t-shirt quilt, the hilarity and the laughter was that I said, why are you guys, what's the matter? And they said, Susan, I've done it and I would not ever do it again. And these are from more skilled quilters than I, and so I thought, you know, that's a sign. That's a really big sign. So not doing that one. Not doing t-shirt quilts. I am for sure on that. So anyway, as I ramble off to the sunset, I need to get this packaged up so I can get it in the mail to her. She's anticipating it any day, and I want to get it done and to her. So thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this a little bit, and give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and we'll talk to you on the next video.